Facilitating regression to cause hypnosis can seem really complicated sometimes. There's so many processes involved and there's so many things to pay attention to in a session. So it can seem complicated, but the only thing that you ever really need to focus on is setup. That's where your success lies. It's in setting up for the next step. And if you're clear about what the next step needs to be, all you need to do is set up for it. I call my first session a Set for Success session. SET stands for Satisfy, Educate, and Train. Those are my 3 primary objectives for the first session. First, I want to satisfy the client's expectations to be hypnotized. Second, I want to educate them about how the mind works and how hypnosis works and how we're going to work together to get the results they're after. Third, I want to teach them how to be successful working with me while in a state of hypnosis. And I want to use that state to evaluate the client's readiness to proceed with the regression work. So these are my objectives for the initial session: satisfy, educate, and teach. Now, if you're an experienced hypnosis practitioner, you may not need to do this. And if you're a well-established therapist, you have several things working for you. First, you have prestige. You've built your reputation for results. Second, you're recognized as an expert. You're an authority. Third, your confidence level is pretty high. You have plenty of experience to fall back on and you know what to expect. So you can pretty much do things your way. Clients are more likely to follow your instructions when you have prestige and authority and confidence. But when you're just starting out, you don't have these things working for you. When you're just starting out, you're more likely to be struggling with your confidence. You're still working on building your reputation, and you're still questioning your own credibility because you don't have years of experience to back you up. So if this is where you're at, you'll appreciate being able to ease into things while you build your confidence and skill. Now, the goal is to get results that last. And using your first session to create your ideal client allows you to ease into things and get results that will help you to grow your confidence and grow your skill. The Set for Success session approach gives you time to strategize. And frankly, it makes everything you do easier because your focus is on preparing the client for the next step. And this means you're preparing yourself. The purpose of the Set for Success session is assessment. This session should give you the information you need to design a program for the individual client. That's all the client needs to know. But the first session does so much more than that. First, it allows you to assess the client's responses to your suggestions so you can assess how cooperative the client is going to be. How much resistance is there? How much internal pressure is there? Does the client question everything, or do they follow your instructions without a thought? This information will tell you what the next step needs to be for that client. Some clients are going to be ready to dive right into their feelings, so they'll be totally on board with getting to the root cause. And those clients, they're ripe and ready for regression to cause hypnosis. So that's the next best step for these clients. Other clients are going to need a little more preparation to be ready for the regression work. Some will need more educating. Some will need more, little ego strengthening to prepare them. But you won't know this until you do the assessment. And success is always going to be in your setup. And this is true at every phase of the healing process. So before you ask a client to take the next step, you need to set up for it. That's what a preliminary assessment is for. It's to assess what the next step needs to be so that you can set up for it. And that's what your first session gives you. During that first session, you're going to talk. That's the intake process. You're going to teach the client what they need to know to be successful working with you. That's the educational pre-talk. Then you're going to guide them to relax into hypnosis. That's their first hypnosis session with you. The intake process sets you up to be successful working with that client by giving you the information you need to educate the client in a way that is relevant to the problem they're dealing with and their personal history. You won't know that until you've done the intake. The educational process is what sets you up to be successful by establishing the therapeutic contract. That's the purpose of the educational pre-talk. And the first hypnosis session sets you up to be successful working with that client by allowing you to first assess the client before you ask them to regress. That first session gives you all the information you need to know how to proceed with each client, and it shows you what the next best step needs to be for that person. Knowing what to do next puts you in the driver's seat of your sessions, and all you ever need to know is, what's the next step? And when you know what the next step needs to be, all you need to do is set up for it. If you want to learn more about the healing process of regression to cause hypnosis, just click the link in the description area. There are lots of free and low-cost programs waiting for you, and they are specific to the work we do as regression to cause hypnosis practitioners. So click the link in the description area, and I'll see you again real soon.